Hey everybody, welcome back to another Minisode of the Lonely Sluts podcast. I'm Claire.
I'm Sarah.
And we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A, and we're also just going to kind of talk on this one, I think. So we posted a question in our Instagram story. It was like, what do you want us to gab about? And the first thing that was requested was ice cream. Sarah?
I don't eat it as much as I used to. That's my main thought is I used to there used to be a Breyers carton in our freezer 24/7, I feel like growing up. I actually didn't realize there were more brands other than Breyers and Pet because those that was school and home were the two brands. And I had never heard of Haagen-Dazs until sophomore year of college, and people thought that was strange.
Really?
So
that
yeah.
late in the game?
Yeah, no, it was quite late. Abby thought I was lying. She's like, "There's no way you didn't know that existed." But yeah, I definitely eat it less. Still enjoy it just as much, but eat it less now because I have to physically go and buy it myself. What are your thoughts on ice cream?
Ice cream is my favorite thing, possibly at all. Ice cream is the only dessert that my father seems to have decided is acceptable. So Klondike bars are very big in my life. I like all kinds of ice cream. Soft serve on a waffle cone with rainbow sprinkles is my favorite thing ever. Tying this in to our podcast about dating and stuff, I have had 2 boys take me or ask me on an ice cream date and then cancel. And if you want to break my heart, that's how to do it. So I have a lot of feelings attached to ice cream. I also use it as a starter for a lot of my Bumble, girls have to start conversations. I stole this from somebody, but I always ask, what 2 flavors of ice cream would you describe yourself and why? Describe yourself as and why. And I always give the answer, chocolate and strawberry. They're cohesive, they're classic, they go together, but they're both strong and not for everybody.
Ah, that's a really well thought out answer. I don't have one. I can only think of my favorite flavors. I can't think of why they would be applicable to my life or why they would describe me. Yeah, I'd have to give some thought into that. I also forgot that I used to literally work in an ice cream shop. So I was I was real intimate with ice cream for 2 summers in a row. And one of my arms got really buff because it was hard scoop, not soft serve. So I definitely think you should tip your hard scoop ice cream employees really generously because they're in it. They're deep in the struggle.
Did you just get one really strong arm?
Yeah, I was a weenie, and the first summer that I worked there, I actually, within the first couple of weeks, I wore a wrist brace because it genuinely hurt my arm and my wrist so much. And people would be like, "What did you do?" And I'm like, "It's just scooping ice cream." But then the next summer,
can you get workers' comp
came back
for that?
stronger than ever. It wasn't enough to go to the actual doctor for. It was just enough for me to drive to a CVS and wear that for a week to strengthen my arm up a little bit.
What's your favorite kind of ice cream?
My favorite kind of ice cream? Cookies and cream, probably. And then chocolate. I like chocolate and cookies and cream a lot, both of them.
Are you a soft serve or a hard scoop kind of gal?
Hard scoop. Except specifically, I do really like Chick-fil-A's soft serve. And not all of them. Not all locations have the same formula, I feel like, because there's some that I really like it, and then there's other locations that I do not like it as much. But I really like their soft serve. I could probably figure out what it is that makes me like and dislike certain soft serves more, if they're creamier or if they're have one type of ingredient more. But I only like their soft serve, and then otherwise I like hard scoop cones.
Have you ever had soft serve custard?
I feel like yes, because I've been to Rita's.
Oh, I haven't. I have some cousins in Ohio, and they took us to this custard place one time, and it sounded unappealing. When I hear custard, I'm kind of like, pass. But turns out I love it, so that's what I want. It's just really creamy soft serve.
Yeah, I like custard.
Okay. So, Sarah, I want you to think about what 2 ice creams you would describe yourself as, and we'll revisit this at the end. So
I feel like I just got homework.
Yeah, I mean, for the next 15 minutes or so. But okay,
Goodness.
I'm gonna move to
I
the.
thought this would be like next episode.
No. I want to know like at the end of this. Okay, next question. If you could take a dream vacation, what's the dream destination for a vacation with your spouse?
Dream vacation with the spouse. I don't know. I'm trying to think of places because like I feel like there's places that I would just want to go, but I don't know if they'd necessarily be improved with someone else there. Like, is there anywhere that I would go that I don't want to do stuff alone at? I don't know. Maybe like an amusement park. Like I wouldn't want to do a bunch of rides alone. So like I would go somewhere like Disneyland. Like I've never been to California Disneyland, so I might go there. I don't know if that'd be a dream vacation, but it'd be a vacation I would take with the spouse. Because I feel like I can lay on a beach by myself anywhere or like just walk around seeing sights like that anywhere. You know?
I went to the pool by myself today and I was laying there by myself. And then there was this couple who went to the pool and they were laying there and I got low-key jealous at the pool today. So it is nice to have somebody, I think, just in general.
just in general to go do stuff with.
Yeah.
I will say when I did go on part of like vacation by myself, like when I was in Edinburgh by myself, and I would go to like restaurants or pubs by myself and they'd be like, how many? And I'd say, just me. They'd always kind of be like, all right. And then I'd be sat near the back. Guess they didn't want to depress their other patrons.
When I'm by myself at restaurants, I like to sit at the bar.
They're like some of the restaurants didn't have bar options because they were just like tiny little like restaurants, but that's probably a good move.
Okay, but we never answered the question. I would say probably I want to go somewhere where I don't have to think about anything. Like this is like so probably opposite of what you would want, but I want to go to some kind of resort where they feed me whatever punch that is they make on the daily on the pool deck that's got like coconut and some kind of rum in it, and I'm just like chilling there and me and my spouse don't have to think about nothing but how bad of a sunburn we're gonna get.
I mean that sounds nice, but I don't know, I'm definitely someone who is a vacation do stuff person. Like I don't like to laze about the entire time.
I agree with that. That should be like a 1 or 2 day situation. I would get bored if that was like a whole week, but like I think I just want that right now in general because I need a break.
We need breaks and spouses.
Yeah. Okay. And then the next question is your dream vacation destination with your spouse and children.
I don't think you can have a dream vacation with children.
Yeah.
I take that back. I don't want to be mean, but that's so hard. Like, I guess back to Disneyland.
No, I'm not traveling with children until they're like
can do stuff on their own.
At least 10 minimum. No single digit children coming with me. And this sounds really weird, but I want to go somewhere with like museums because I'm a nerd. And when I was like, I was in 5th grade, maybe we went to Washington, D.C. and it was a family trip. We took a week off of school and I remember having to do so much schoolwork for it, but it was really like at home before we left on the trip. I had to do so much schoolwork, but it was really great. It was my whole family and we went to all like the Smithsonian museums and that was like so fun for me. And I think that would be cool to take kids to. Because also you're not like in another country and like there's just, it's a little bit more low key, but it's also kind of, there's stuff to see and do. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I think I'd either want like a baby that I would just have to carry around. Like they're not going to do anything or want to request to go anywhere or walk away from me. Like I'd carry a baby with me on vacation.
Then what's the point?
Or I would also have, just to not pay for daycare, I would go, to somewhere like that where they would get something out of it. It'd be like educational but fun and interesting and, I don't know, easy to keep track of them. I think I'd be afraid to take them somewhere like in a foreign country that I'm not super familiar with or like didn't understand like the language or like how things worked and also had to navigate keeping my child near me.
Okay. The next question is, do y'all know what kind of animal Rafiki from The Lion King is? Or what kind of monkey Rafiki from The Lion King is? And I was gonna say a baboon because
Oh, I was also gonna say a baboon,
but I looked
but
it up just now.
I have no idea in reality, but I would guess because he just has a lot of bright colors on him, and for some reason I associate that with like like more colors than just like brown or black, and I associate that with baboons. I don't know.
So, according to the Lion King fandom wiki, he self-identifies as a baboon, but he is actually based off of a mandrill, which is closely related to a baboon, but a different thing. So,
Interesting.
that's the answer. I thought he was a baboon. He thinks he's a baboon, but he's a mandrill. Okay, next question. Which death in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory freaked you guys out the most? Well, that's tricky. There's 2 movies. Are we talking the old one or the new one? Because I really only know the old one. And I guess they all die the same way. And also there's a book. But I'm going to talk about the Gene Wilder movie because that's the one I've seen and know the best.
I would have to say probably Veruca Salt. I think she's the one that got like decided that she was like a bad egg or a bad seed, right? And then they like sent her to the incinerator.
Yeah, I referred to myself as her yesterday. I was like, I'm like Veruca because I was like, I want it now. And then I was like, I want the world. I want the whole world. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. The one who Augustus Gloop gets sucked up in that tube. That's I don't.
Sounds pretty bad.
I don't want that one. I feel like Mike TV doesn't really die in the TV. I feel like Violet doesn't really die. She just is blown up.
Well, I feel like they technically say, don't they say that none, like I think in the Gene Wilder one, don't they say that none of them died? They're like, oh, they'll come back.
Yeah, but
they'll make
it's
them better.
pretty well established that Willy Wonka
like the
is a
incinerator
huge
wasn't
liar. So he's just saying that.
because like the incinerator wasn't on or something or was broken, and that's why she didn't die. But like
that sounds like baloney.
Theoretically, she was tossed into the incinerator.
That's
I don't want to be burned.
But that is bad. But I think the Augustus Gloop one bothers me because he's stuck in a tube and it's clear. And he can see everybody and they can see him and he's like banging on the sides and it's like still claustrophobic. I don't like it. And he's also high up and I'm afraid of heights.
I would rather the tube be clear than not be able to see anything.
It just adds another layer to like the horror of like
at least I could be like, oh, there's people out there, they'll hopefully help me, rather than just be in this tube being like, I'll never know the end.
Well, okay, so I guess they're all terrible, but Mike TV I think got off the easiest because he's just like
he just stretched out?
He was just in the TV and he was like really psyched about it.
Out?
Who is stretched out? Am I missing somebody? There was Charlie Buckets, who's Charlie. There's Veruca Salt, who falls down the thing. There's Violet Beauregard, who's the gum chewer, who turned into a blueberry. There's Augustus Gloop, who's greedy and was eating the chocolate, fell in the river, and got stuck in the tube. And then Mike TV got TV'd. He's just in the TV. I think that's it.
Oh, this is from the 2005 movie.
Oh, I think maybe I saw that one time, but I know Gene Wilder.
Yeah, so he gets shrunk, and then Willy Wonka, like, I think puts him through, like, the taffy puller and, like, stretches him out. And then he's, like, super tall and stretchy.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like in the one with the Wonka vision, he just is in the TV. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, okay, there's that. Okay, finally, Sarah, I'm going to let you ask this one because this was asked to you directly in person.
Yes, so my friend asked whether we had any interesting, like, makeout stories, but specifically regarding, like, food and tastes. So she had an instance where she was kissing someone and the person was like, what did you have for dinner? And she said, like, pasta or something? He was like, yeah, I can tell. And, like, what an interesting conversation and comment to make. So did you have any similar experiences? Because that is strange to me.
2 things that came to mind, but I would not say they're like that really at all. One kind of it. Well, the first one I thought about was I was drinking a drink and there was ice in it and I put a bunch of ice in my mouth and then this boy goes to kiss me and I go, I have ice in my mouth. And he goes, so? And for some reason, that was a really compelling argument for me. And I was like, oh, okay. And then the second time was there was a boy who was leaving my house, and he popped a Hershey Kiss in his mouth right before his ride got here. And he kissed me like halfway through the Hershey Kiss, and I didn't like it because it tasted like chocolate. And I didn't think about that until just now, but he was like, all right, bye. And he kissed me and he left. And I was like, and I was like, I don't like that. I don't know. I like knew it was there.
It just grosses me out in the same way as like backwash grosses me out.
Yeah.
I don't want your like food particles and like the saliva and everything like being in my mouth. When it should just stay in yours. That's its home.
Like I know what's happening, but I don't want to think about it. And that makes you think about it.
Yeah, no, when it's that obvious, that kind of forces you to be like, oh yeah, this is gross.
Okay, so that's kind of it for our questions today. Before we go, there's a couple things. I want to address the sound quality of all of our recordings because they are A, really inconsistent, and B, mostly bad. And I'm aware of this, and I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think I'm using the right software, and I don't have a lot of time I'm devoting to this because it's a hobby. But if you know or have any suggestions of how to make it sound less bad, let me know. Sarah and I record primarily over Alt-Moto call recorder for Skype. We have the same exact microphone, and I don't know what we're doing wrong because she is consistently much louder than I am. So if anybody has any thoughts, we're open to it.
Oh yeah. Don't feel bad about like criticizing or suggesting anything. We are open to suggestions. And I will say there are at least going to be a couple of episodes that sound better than others because we're actually together in those. So if you can tell a vast difference in quality, it's because we're physically in the same place, which we won't be very much in the future. So.
Okay, sorry. I also keep checking my phone because I made very tentative non-plans with a boy from Tinder to get drinks at happy hour tonight. And he goes, okay, I'll hit you up tomorrow afternoon. And I don't know when happy hour actually starts. And it's like 3:45. And I'm like, do I need to put on makeup?
4:45.
What'd I say? 4:45?
It's definitely started. I feel like most are 4 to 6 or 4 to 7.
Anyway, the point is, I don't know if I should be getting ready. So I keep looking at my phone. But if he doesn't text me, that's probably better. Before we go, I would also like to plug a local place in Columbia that we went to for brunch. They are 100% not a sponsor. I don't even think they would like being affiliated with our podcast.
I don't know. It's a very old-timey, like old-timers go there type place, but very cute, very nice. I liked it a lot.
It's called the Mousetrap. The owner came up to us after we were mostly done eating, and he asked about the grits that I had, and I don't know if he had heard the conversation I was having previously because I was rating grits because I have a lot of opinions and I wanted them creamier, but these grits were like adequate. And he was like, do you need me to take them back? Do you need me to make more grits? Would you like them to be creamier? And I was like, nah, man, it's totally fine. These are good, but in the future, maybe. But it's called the Mousetrap. Where's it located, Sarah?
It's just off Forest Drive on, I don't know if it's on or also off of Middleburg Drive. So I don't know. Actually, you know what? I would just say Middleburg Drive. It's near/on Middleburg Drive, which is off Forest Drive. And they have like different themed nights or like different sales going on during the week. So they have like a wing night, I want to say on Wednesdays. They have trivia at 7 on Tuesdays. They have like jazz and half bottle or half priced wine on Thursdays or Fridays. Yeah. And so they just have different things going on every day. And it's a very cool, fun place.
And he said that their regulars were literally dying out. So trying to help this man revitalize the Mousetrap.
Yeah, so hopefully at the next trivia night, it won't be like 40, 67-year-olds and then 4 20-something-year-olds. It'll be a nice half and half.
No one in between.
No one in between. We don't support the 40 and 50-year-olds.
Middle-aged who? Get out.
Go have your crises somewhere else.
Okay, Sarah, have you figured out what kind of ice cream you are yet?
Oh no, I haven't been thinking about it because we've been talking about other stuff. I'm not capable of having background thoughts.
Okay, well, quick, you have to choose.
I guess I'd be chocolate
You
because
have to
I
be
like
two.
chocolate. I have to be two.
That's what makes it
I'd
hard.
I'd be chocolate and buttered pecan
Ooh.
because I think that it tastes good and is sweet, but it's old people's ice cream and I'm old at heart. And chocolate is just like you said, it's classic, but not everyone likes it. So those are my two.
Perfect.
And I think they pair well together as well.
I
So
agree. And we're both chocolate, but we also have a different secondary flavor. That's very good for us.
very on brand, kind of the same, kind of different.
Perfect. Okay. Well, if you want to share what kind of ice creams you are, our DMs are open on Instagram and Twitter. We are The Lonely Sluts at both of those. We also have a Gmail account, thelonelysluts@gmail.com. Thank you for your questions. As always, we appreciate it so much. I'm glad you're listening. And we'll be back again next week with a full-length episode.
Bye.